All right, hey guys, today I want to talk about a topic totally near and dear to me, also really topical in the world of professionals and knowledge workers, and that is the topic of AI for note taking. So, taking notes and actioning information is at the core of my book, The 24-Hour Rule and Other Secrets for Smarter Organizations. I call the 24-hour rule, which is about doing something with information within 24 hours of hearing it, golden rule of documentation, and this extends to personal and team productivity too. So let's talk about some of the obvious advantages of AI note-taking and recording. Well, I've experimented with tools like Otter, Copilot Teams, and the one thing they do shockingly well is take a accurate enough recording or transcript and summaries, meetings like your walkthroughs, interviews, workshops, brainstorming sessions, process reviews. This obviously gives you a very helpful record that you can reference later so you don't forget. They can also be instrumental in helping you to create documents like your articles, your proposals, process documents, and so many other things based on the conversations alone. Okay, enough about the advantages. Now let's talk about some of the disadvantages. First of all, people collect more notes, but they don't have a system to access or use this information. Most transcripts and recordings I see at clients are never looked at again and are collecting digital dust. And the next disadvantage that I see at clients or in sales situations is that when people know that they're being recorded or there's a transcript, they're much less likely to share confidential or juicy information when they know they're being recorded, and this can often put you at a disadvantage. And here is the biggest disadvantage of all when it comes to AI note-taking. And this probably is an unpopular opinion and also makes me sound a little bit like a dinosaur. You will miss all the amazing advantages of old school note-taking. The key advantage of manual old school note-taking has nothing to do with the notes and everything to do with how it shapes our thinking and ability to build professional judgment. Note-taking acts in many ways like an intermediary step. It forces you to process information, discern what matters from what doesn't, and synthesize and analyze the information you've collected. Studies have shown many times that manual or old school note-taking also boosts our recollection and our memory as well. So when you use manual old school note-taking, first of all, you choose what information matters or not during a conversation, and this hones your skills of discernment. Next, you capture points that matter to you, and that boosts your ability to synthesize information. You next recap key points, and this builds your skills of analysis. And lastly, maybe the most important, is you communicate your key notes, request feedback, and use your notes to take the next steps on project. All right, so now for the verdict. In the consulting industry and in professional services, I've heard some claims that AI note-taking can save time on projects by like 80%. Now, I would caution that this sounds frankly way too high, especially in most cases. However, yes, you can probably achieve that type of time saving on certain types of meetings like status updates, really step-by-step process review, planning next steps, or anything that's more formulaic in nature. But for work that requires analysis, processing, and professional judgment, which is at the core of my businesses, Risk Oversight and Belhumeur Co., I put the time savings much closer to around 20 or 30%. This is still, by the way, colossal when you think of extrapolating this across different projects, consultants, and the impact on clients as well. So how to get the best of both worlds? I love AI note-taking tools and AI in general, but I'm still a traditionalist at heart when it comes to documentation. There is a happy medium, and you can have the best of both worlds. So To speed up your ability to process your notes, I'd recommend using transcript tools like Otter and then throw in tools like ChatGPT to give you a stronger summary than the note-taking apps. But I would caution leaning too much on AI tools exclusively for your summaries, or else they'll be way too woody and lack human touch, and you also won't get any of the benefits of old school notes. So even if you're pressed for time, what you can do is what I call a 5-minute recap to summarize your key thoughts, which could involve writing a few ideas or things you got out of the meetings. And it might be just 3 to 5 bullets. Even doesn't matter how long a meeting is I typically find there's somewhere between 3 to 5 key bullets to remember. And by the way, I have a friend who speaks these bullets directly into the transcription tool to end her meetings. This is another great hack as well. And remember, having a transcript really doesn't matter much if you aren't going to do anything with the information from these meetings. Whether you've used AI or handwritten or typed on the computer or some combo of all three, the success of your notes comes down to your ability and willingness to action information. That could mean writing a client back, sharing what you've learned, pulling information into key deliverables. So I hope you've enjoyed my hot take here on AI note-taking. This is an area that's rapidly evolving, and I'm sure my own opinions on this will shift in the next year or two. But I'd love to hear your opinions on what's working or not for your work, your role, or your business. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Adrienne Bellimer, and happy documenting.